What's going on, Scorpio? This is your bonus read I'm doing for you. I do want to say happy birthday to all the Scorpios. You guys know I love you because you know I'm about that Scorpio life. So wanted to do a bonus for you. A lot of you, when I was doing some pre-shuffling, a lot of you are in that dust. You're in that dust, you're in that dirt, you're in that grime that you're in right before you rise from those freaking ashes. A lot of you have been through a lot, okay? You went through a lot with a lot of people over the past, I would say, 10 years. A lot of connections. You realize that people were not who you thought they were. You realize that many of these people were in your life to be a direct reflection of what was going on within you. And a lot of these relationships failed because you were putting in too much effort into connections that, for people who did not deserve to be in your life, or that did not deserve the attention that you were giving them. Scorpios are all or nothing sign. They're either with you 100% or they're not at all. And you were with these people 100%, but these people were not there with you. So you were caught in this trap of teeter-tottering a fence between being loyal to these people, sitting on top of that fence, and then the other side of the fence is blatant disrespect, because these people, no matter what you did, no matter what the loyalty was you provided for them, no matter how you showed them who you were to them and what they meant to you, they were never going to give you the respect that you deserved. They were never going to treat you the way you deserved. They were never going to value you the way that you valued them and the way that you deserved. Many of them were there just to steal your energy, and they would do it little by little by little. And instead of you seeing that, you would continue to fight for the relationship and fight for the connection. And as a result of that happening in one relationship after another, whether it was another relationship over the time, maybe over the last 10 years, accumulative connections were just one after the other, whether it was a lover, whether it was a family member, whether it was a coworker, whether it was a friend, you know, that was supposed to be your friend. All of these people, in the end, they were a direct reflection showing you that you were not stepping into your power. You were not commanding the respect that you deserved. You were just naturally a loyal person, so you were assuming that these people would be loyal to you when that's not the case. So you weren't paying attention to these signs, okay? So what happened was it all mounted up on you, and you crashed and burned for a lot of you. And so what had to happen was you had to crash and burn. The universe had to keep sending you these energies so that you would get it. For some of you, you didn't get it with the one. You still stayed in that relationship. This person still constantly disrespected you. So because of that, another aspect of your life, as far as, you know, relationships, the universe said, okay, if you're not going to learn from this one, you're going to keep staying in that one, then I'm going to send you that disrespect from this one too. So now not only do you have your family members disrespecting you, now you have a lover disrespecting you, not observing who you are and what you bring to the table. You didn't learn from that. You kept staying on with that, trying to work things out with that because of your loyalness. So the universe said, okay, you're not going to learn, then I'm going to send you another lesson. So now they send it through your best friend or your one of your friends or associates or business partners. So now you got another relationship here where there's tug of war. You just been in tug of wars until you finally said, you know what? F everything. F all these people. I'm no longer going to deal with it. And that's what the universe wanted you to do. Drop them and stand in your power. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Drop all of them. Drop them all. All of them who are not respectful of who you are. They rejected you constantly. No matter what you did, Scorpio, they rejected you. Constantly rejecting you, constantly showing you that you weren't enough. And you were like, oh, really? Yes, I am. You know what? And you kept fighting for the connection. Kept fighting. And they kept rejecting you. So you dealt with so much rejection where it was to the point where you had to stop and say, wait a minute. First you were to the point where it was like, oh, woe is me. These people are not treating me right. What's going on? Then it got to the point like, wait a minute. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I've given to these people. I know the time and effort and energy and love and support I've given to these people, and they still treat me like this. Well, you know what? If they want to be that way, then fine. So you got to the point where now it's like you rejected them. Okay? You're rejecting them now. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So as a result of you rejecting them now, you're cutting them off. No more putting time, effort, and energy into these connections where these people are doing nothing but rejecting you, disrespecting you, not valuing who you are and what you bring to the table. Enough, Scorpio. Enough is what you said. And so you're no longer spending time with these people. You're no longer putting effort, energy, okay, into these connections because you realize they're not going anywhere. Done with that. Done with that. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. The reason you're done with this is because you were never getting what you were giving in this connection, in any of these connections. For a lot of you, I feel like it was multiple connections. Lovers, family members, friends, so-called friends, colleagues, business partners, business associates. It's like these relationships were all over the place, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And at one point, you thought it was you, Scorpio. Because, they say, well, look at the common denominator, right? You were the common denominator in these connections. See, that's 3D law. What's the common denominator? Universal law is, I'm sending you these energies because you're not stepping into your power, and this is what I need you to do. Interesting how we look at 3D law versus universal law. I feel like now you're at a point where you're understanding a little bit better universal law and why these people were put into your life. They were put in your life to teach you to respect yourself and what you bring to the table and who you are. And to be able to say, no matter who you are in my life, whether you are my husband or my wife, whether you are my mother or my father, whether you are my child, whether you are my boss, just because you hold these positions in my life in the 3D realm, these are positions that most people don't want to ruffle feathers with. But unfortunately, Scorpio, these were put in your way and in your path because these lessons of power and self-respect and realization needed to be learned. And it had to be learned from the positions in the 3D realm that nobody wanted to, ruffle feathers with. Nobody wants to ruffle feathers and say, okay, I have a mother who's a narcissist. Nobody wants to ruffle feathers and say, hey, my wife that I'm married to, she's only with me for money. She's messing around with other people. She doesn't care about me at all. We have kids together. We have investments together. Nobody wants to ruffle feathers with their boss, but your boss is constantly disrespecting you, doesn't pay you what you're worth, is constantly demanding from you and not showing you that they appreciate what you are doing. Same thing with your children, no matter what you do for them. So these could be any of these relationships. Best friends turning their back on you, lying on you, sleeping with your partners, deceiving you. All of these different types of relationships were put into your life in the past 10 years. And you realize for a lot of you, a lot of people are no longer around. They're no longer around. That's because you had to learn. We have the Hierophant in reverse. This is not the type of relationships you want in your life. Like I said, it was not tradition. It's not tradition in the 3D realm to not speak to your father anymore because he never respected you or showed you the love that you deserved. In the 3D realm, it's unheard of to say my mother is a narcissist. In the 3D realm, it's unheard of to argue with your boss for being afraid of being thrown out and not having any money. So, you know, you're kind of in this catch-22 section. You don't even like what you do anyway. And you don't even like your boss. But then they treat you like shit when you come in and you do your job. These relationships you were in, they were all considered in the 3D realm traditional relationships. Universal law is saying that's not what's for Scorpio. That's not what's going on with Scorpio. Scorpio is a phoenix in rising, about to rise from the ashes. The only way you can even be a phoenix rising from the ashes is to walk away from what society says are traditional relationships, when all these traditional relationships are doing nothing but stealing your energy, stealing the life force from you. You're not being treated with respect. You weren't being treated with respect. You weren't given the loyalty that you were giving. And so it took you a little bit to understand, but you did. You did. Eventually you did. And for a lot of you, there's very few people that you're communicating with right now. Very few people that you deal with right now. A lot of you count on one hand how many people you actually trust, how many people you actually feel like, you know what, I can confide in you, I feel comfortable with you. We have the Chariot in reverse. So emotionally, there's a lot of people that you can't connect with. Okay, like I said, you probably have on one hand people that you feel emotionally comfortable with, that you can release these feelings that you've been experiencing, these things that you've been going through, that you can talk to about this. Somebody who would know, or who would be able to, not even necessarily know, but who you could confide in and explain to them what you've been going through. Nobody would really understand this. Nobody would understand what was going on. And for a long time, a lot of the things you wanted in life weren't coming into fruition because of the fact that you weren't dealing with these emotions. For a lot of you with this Chariot energy in reverse, this goes back to home. This goes back to your family. The connection between you and your family, for a lot of you, whatever family members, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, doesn't matter. This has been going on since your childhood. Many of you lived in a non-traditional household where you had parents and family members who were narcissists, literally. These people did nothing but torment you. Some of you were married to someone who was a narcissist. Okay, and you live in a house with them. Whether you are married to this person or whether you grew up in the house with this person. A lot of this is what you've been experiencing. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. These people didn't give a shit about you. They didn't care about you. They cared about what they could get from you, what you could give them. That was it. That's all they cared about. And so now you're to the point where it's like, okay, is that that's how it is? All right, cool. Then you know what? I don't give a shit about you either. I have no interest in communicating with you either. I have no interest in putting in any effort into this connection. So you know what? I quit. I'm not working for you anymore. You're disrespectful, you're rude, you don't appreciate what I bring to the table. You know what? I don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm not answering your calls anymore. You're disrespectful, you're disloyal, you talk about me behind my back, you think it doesn't get back to me. The things you say to me tell me how you really feel about me. You're jealous and you're envious. I don't have time for you. Your parent. Your parent. A lot of you is to the point where you were in denial about the whole thing. In denial. No matter what you did, you were rejected. No matter what you did. Some of you, you know, this went on for decades. Just rejected. No matter what. And now it's to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm done with that. I don't need you anymore. I'm grown now. I don't need you anymore. There's nothing you can do for me anymore. So I don't have to tolerate your bullshit. So you know what? I'm not fucking with you either. You are rising from you are in the midst of this dust. You're in the midst of these ashes. These ashes are the relationships that you've burned and buried because of the fact that these people, no matter what you did, showed you no respect. had no real love for you. The relationships were not going anywhere. They really did not care for you genuinely. Okay? And it got to the point where enough was enough. And you had to make it be known. So you burned that relationship. You burned the bridge. You burnt the bridge to that one. You burnt the bridge to this one. And it's just like, damn, is it me? You know, because, 3D law will tell you the common denominator is you, so you must be the problem. But no, universal law is no. These people were put in your life to teach you that you need to command your respect and stand in your power no matter what the relationship is. Scorpio, you have you are loyal to a fault. Scorpios are very loyal people. If you have any good Scorpios in your life, you already know. You already know. And so a lot of people will take advantage, and then they complain about, oh, well, Scorpio's vindictive. They're jealous. They're evil. No, that's because a Scorpio will get to that point once they have shown you the loyalty and you constantly shit on them. Then you will feel that stinger. Then you will feel that revenge. Then you will feel that energy. So if anybody is telling you, oh, Scorpios aren't this or that, you had to have A, done something, or B, you were fucking with a bad Scorpio. Okay, you have good Scorpios, you have bad ones. But if it started off good in the beginning, then you did something. 9 times out of 10, you did something. Okay, because the Scorpio's just not going to sting you. They're loyal people. Very loyal. And so you stung a lot of people and you had to burn the ashes. You had to burn the bridges. So now the bridges are burnt. You're looking around you and you're dusting off the ashes. Guess what time it is now? It's time for you to rise, baby. It's time for you to rise from the ashes and command your power and command your respect. And moving forward, you are not dealing with anybody who is not going to give you the respect you deserve. It doesn't matter who they are to you. Parent, child, lover, husband or wife, boss, co-worker, colleague, man at the gas station. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now, the universe is saying, this is where you need to be. This is where I want it. So the ascension of Scorpio, you got this winter where you're going through, I think at this point what you're going to be experiencing through the winter is you're going to be dusting off those ashes, sweeping up those ashes, cleaning those ashes up, tears dropping along the way while you're sweeping up these ashes, dusting them, removing them from your life, getting that out, and then rising is what I'm feeling here. We have the 7 of Wands. Yes, see, and while you're sweeping up those ashes and dropping those tears while you're doing it, you're going to have a few of these people trying to come back to you, telling you that the way you're handling the situation is wrong. The way you're looking at the situation is wrong. Or they're going to come at you, what's wrong? Acting like everything is normal and, no. Stand your ground, Scorpio. There's a few of them that you're standing your ground against. A few of them. There's 7 wands here. You defending yourself and standing your ground against multiple people who just want to drain you for your energy or whatever they can get from you. And they're going to be pissed that you took your energy back. So they're going to be coming around. They're going to be coming back around. Let's see what these cards are. Yeah, so we got the 4 of materials in reverse. See, because with the 4 of wands in reverse here, at one point you were very open to them. You were very giving, very loyal, very loving. A Scorpio would give you the shirt off their fucking back. With no questions asked. No questions asked. Call your Scorpio. If you're feeling down, call your Scorpio friend. Your Scorpio friend will get more hype than you. If you tell your Scorpio friend that something happened to you, or that Scorpio will immediately, because Scorpio is empathic by nature. We can feel the energy. We can pretend that we're in that situation. I won't say pretend. Pretend is a bad word. But we can morph into the energies and the feelings and emotions of that event. And immediately respond to you with passion and vigor in protection of our friend, our family member, our lover. and feel those emotions with you and go through it with you. And see, they can't have that anymore. They're not going to get that anymore. And they're used to that. That's what they were used to. And now that it's gone, they're going to have all kinds of problems with that. But you know what? There's an awakening going on. This is judgment energy here. All right? The universe is going to heal your heart. So don't worry, Scorpio. Your heart's going to heal. You will heal. The universe is saying to you, I had to do this because I had to get your attention. And now look, the universe has your attention. That's you looking up at your higher self and saying, okay, what will you have me do now? This is what I've been through. I've shed these relationships. I've shed these connections. What is it that you ask of me? What is it that I need to do? And then we have the Muse of Emotions. This is like the King of Cups. This is all about self-love, taking action to show love to you. Spending time with you. This is what you are going to be going through this winter. Okay? This is the winter of healing. This is the winter of following your intuition. This is the winter of self-nurturing, self-love. Okay? Coming out of the ashes of these relationships that were not helpful to you. You awakening, going through an ascension, realizing, okay, damn, I was allowing these people to disrespect me and I was being loyal to them and they weren't to me. So I had to do something. You cut them off and you're like, okay, I cut them off now. They're gone now. Now what do I need to do? Now what do you ask of me? Right? The universe is that I need you to love you. I need you to respect you. I need you to appreciate you. I need you to take care of you. Give that loyalty and love that you were given to them. Give it to you. That's what the universe wants you to do. And that's what you will be spending most of the winter doing, Scorpio. Healing. Okay? Yeah, Ace of Materials. But in the meantime, financial situations are getting better. But you're also healing yourself. You're giving yourself a gift. The Ace of Pentacles. All right? This is about physical. Anything in the physical realm. So I feel like for a lot of you, your health is going to start recovering. You're going to start feeling better. A lot of you are going to start taking better care of the self-love that you're going to be doing. Taking better care of your health, eating right, exercising, working out, focusing on your financial prosperity and stability, because that's already starting to kick in for many of you if you've already cut all these people out. If you're in the process of doing that, go ahead and do it, because things are only going to get better for you. They're only going to get better for you. And we have the Queen of Voices in reverse. So this is the Queen of Wands in reverse. No more. No more of the disrespect. No more of the low self-esteem. No more of the trying to, do whatever it is you can to get people to appreciate who you are. You are not standing in your power. You are not in these connections. And this is what the universe wants you to know and wants you to focus on all through the winter. Look at each one of these connections and look at where you have compromised yourself. You've compromised your values, your integrity, your morals, just to keep this connection alive. And for what? What did you get out of it, Scorpio? Not a thing. Nothing but hurt, pain, humiliation, disrespect, disregard. And then many of you were cast aside like you were pieces of shit. Scorpio, this is the winter of healing for you. This is what I'm going to call this video, the winter of healing. So that you can ascend from these ashes. Let's get you some advice. What messages of advice does Scorpio need to hear as they go through this ascension process to clean off the ashes so that they can rise like the phoenix they are? Forgive and forget. Now, forgive. Forgive them for what they did. They were put in your life to reflect to you what you needed to see in yourself. You needed to see that you were overstepping, you were doing too much, you were giving too much to people who did not deserve it. So look at it in that sense and forgive these people for what they've done to you, because you cannot heal unless you forgive them. And it's not about them, it's about you. Remember, this is all about self-love here. Okay? So the first step is to forgive them. And then forget it. Forget them. If you need to leave the situation, leave them alone permanently. Some of you have children by this person, so maybe you can't. Some of you, but you can limit your contact with these people, and you can stand your ground and let them know, look, I don't give a shit what you think. I'm not, unless it's an emergency, especially if it's family, unless it's an emergency, someone's sick or passed away, I'm not trying to hear from you. Because once you forgive what they did to you, eventually you'll forget it. But you won't forget it until you forgive. You're not going to be able to forgive until you look at what part you played in the situation. Why did you allow the disrespect to occur? Where did the disrespect occur, and what part did you play in it? Oh, yeah, okay, well, when this person said A, B, and C, maybe I should have stopped then, but I didn't. I kept going. This person showed me that they didn't believe in me. They didn't have any belief in me and in my values and what I was bringing to the table. But yet I still pressed on anyway because I felt like I could convince them or change their mind. Or I felt like if they could just see me from this point of view, then, they would recognize who they had in front of you. Moving forward, do things in moderation, okay? Do all things in moderation. So this is telling me, I feel like the healing process is going to take some time. Like I said, it's going to take all winter for a lot of you. Okay? So you have time. So relax. If you happen to meet someone that catches your eye, or someone who, intimately maybe you could vibe with, don't jump in. Don't jump in. Take your time. Get to know these people. Find out who they are. What they're about. But I feel like this is just you giving too much. Remember when I talked about that fence where you're just being 100% loyal and you're teeter-tottering on the fence of loyalty and just straight being, self-disrespect by overindulging and giving them more and more and more when they're not acknowledging what you already gave and your natural loyalness, that you're just naturally loyal. If they don't recognize that, then don't keep pushing. Match their energy. This is what this means to me. Match their energy. If they only, if this person only calls you once a week, then only answer once a week. Don't keep, if they only want to talk to you about such and such, then only talk to them about such and such. Don't try to make, someone. Here's an example. A lot of people have, your friends. You have friends for certain things. Certain friends, you have friends where you hang out with. Certain friends, you have friends where you talk about personal issues and family things like that. Don't try to make a friend both when they're not both. Look at who these people are and what they represent in your life and why you brought them in the first place. And connect with them on that level and on that level only. Don't try to make everybody the end-all, be-all for everything, because a lot of times that's what causes these problems as well. You're expecting these people to be what they cannot. And you're trying to make that happen, and it won't happen. It's just not meant for them to be that in your life. So you have to be careful. You have to step back, assess the relationship, and accept it for what it is, and not try to put too much more into it than that. Let's get you one more. We have live your soul, not a role. Okay, this is a beautiful card that came out because this represents the fact that you're not going to just be playing roles in people's lives, just allowing them to drain you of your energy and take from you and not give back to you. That's a role you played in their life. You're not doing that anymore. You're going to live your soul now. Okay? So if they come around and they need this and normally you would give it to them, but now you're not doing that because of the fact that it's like, no, that's too much of my time and my effort. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Because they've proven in the past that they're not worth it. Then so be it. So be it. Let them be pissed. Let them be pissed and you not be used. Which would you rather have? Them be pissed, you feeling used. Because when you felt used and you expressed it to them, what happened? What did they do? Did they stop? Did they say, oh, I'm sorry? Did they say, let me make it up to you? Let me fix it? No, none of that, Scorpio. A lot of them just ignored you. And because you came around, that was reinforcement that the behavior that they were doing was acceptable. And so they continued to do it. So you got to live your soul, not a role, not that role you played before. That role is over. It's gone. It's done. And let them know. Okay? Laugh at your demons. Interesting. Because those demons were the ones that got you in that situation anyway. You're out of those situations now. You're dusting off the ashes. So guess what you get to do now? Tell those motherfuckers, is that all you got? You hit like a bitch. You hit like a bitch. Reassess everything that you went through. All of those relationships. Look at them one by one. And then rejuvenate yourself. And they may come around trying to see what's up. Don't be afraid to say no to these motherfuckers. Don't be afraid to. Okay? But you may meet someone. Now that you've been through all this, the universe is going to probably send someone now who is going to be of, evenly yoked towards you because you rejected what was not. So when you reject everything that's not, the universe says, okay, let me send you something different. So stay open, Scorpio. Like I said, you don't have to jump in 100%. Okay? You do things in moderation. So, if you want to go out, go out. You want to hang out. Don't jump in too quick because you know who you are. And do this. Love yourself first. Practice self-love. Self-love is the first love, Scorpio. Scorpio, you are ascending. You're cleaning up these ashes and you're ready to ascend. I feel like by the time spring comes, you guys are going to be on such another level. You're going to be looking back at all of this like, ooh, that was a ride. But Queen and King Scorpio has arrived. And I assure you, the next few relationships that you come in contact with or people that you meet, you will know immediately if you need to cut them short, and you will do so. You will never allow ever again, no matter who the person is in your life, you will never allow these relationships to get as far as they've gotten, as far as the disrespect, where you're teeter-tottering on the fence of, I've been loyal to you, now you're going to push me over the edge and make me people please to the point where I'm disrespecting myself. And they still won't respect you. They'll respect you more when you stand in your power and you cut them short and you give them what you want to give them and you move on. Until they can match your energy and match your effort, that's what you do from now on, Scorpio. And that's the lesson that you need to ride with this winter while you're going through your winter of healing. If you need a personal read, reach out to me. I'm at 8thhouseenergy@gmail.com. I love you, Scorpio. I'll see you in the next reading.